Hey guys, this is Vince from Mannequins by Day. I'm here with In the Stew to show you a free Max4Live device that I've put together that is kind of helping us perform. So the device is called Launcher, and basically what it does is if you're using a MIDI device that has a fixed note output, so something like this guy, the MPD, or an SPDX or SPDS or whatever, and you want to be able to use it to trigger clips rather than just be able to launch instruments on a drum rack. There's no way to do it without this device. So we're using it in the scenario where basically we have songs on different chains, and then each song has its own set of like backing track clips. So the way this works, basically you put the launcher device on a control track, and then you set it up to say, okay, how many MIDI notes do I want to detect from the controller that I'm using? In this case, I've got 8 clips, so I just have 8. What is the track that the first pad is going to be triggering? And in this case, it's 2, 0, 1, 2. What clip slot do I want to be triggering? In this case, it's 1. That's not 0 indexed. And then, or it is 0 indexed, sorry, 0, 1. And then what's the lowest note value that I want to start detecting from this controller? And then you can configure that by hitting this button and detect it, and then pressing a button. So I want this to be the lowest note, and then it'll just show up there. And then so what this does basically is if I'm on this chain and I want to trigger these clips, I can just basically be on this chain and then press this button, and it will trigger the clips, which gives me all the advantages of having the Ableton clip system. And then if I want to switch songs, right now I just have it mapped to different keys, like 1, 2, 3, 4 on the keyboard. So I can switch chains, and you can map that with whatever you want. But then when I switch chains and hit the same buttons, it triggers a different set of clips, which means that I can use the same controller and just switch chains on my control and just have this whole clip view loaded with different song clips, and it'll allow me to kind of move between songs without having to do anything crazy. And then you can reset the BPM or whatever you want to do. The other thing that this features is there is a little configuration here. So let's say I have a drum rack or something on this. I can configure basically which pads I want to go through and launch these clips, and which I might just want to have the MIDI just go through without launching the clip. So if I turn this one off, for example, and then try to hit this first button, oh, I gotta be on the right chain here. So let's say I turn this off and then hit that first button. It won't go through, but all the other ones will. So if I turn that back on, it'll go through. And then the MIDI also goes through into this next set of the chain. So if I put some kind of like drum rack on here, I'll just put a 808. It will also still trigger things, basically. So yeah, there it is. And I hope you guys find some use from this, because it's cool for me. Have a good one.